and welcome to the Teaching Corner. Today we're going to be talking about touch points and addition. Now again, we already discussed that the ideal situation would be for a child to have these in their rote memory, that they could look at 8 plus 4 and know that it was 12. However, if you have a student who hasn't been able to figure out their rote memorization facts and is struggling with their addition facts, touch points is a quick and easy way that helps students without having to count on their fingers or put their pencil down or move manipulatives. They can hold their pencil in their hand and touch these points, and they don't look any different from any of the other students. When your students are originally starting out with touch points, if they're a little insecure about where they are, have them draw it on the numbers before they actually use it. So in addition, what you would do is say 8 plus 4. You tell the students to touch the big number, 8, and then they're going to touch the touch points on the smaller number. Again, this time I'll draw them for you so you can see. So it'll be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then they would write their answer as 12. If you have a long list of numbers, ideally a student would look at that and say, oh, 8 and 2 is 10, and they would group them by tens. But some students just aren't able to visually see that and do that quickly, and it takes way too much brain time for them, so other students have already moved on. So if I have a student who has a long list of numbers in a column, I'll tell them to start with the top, and we're going to touch all the numbers on the way down. So they would say 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Now, touch points can be used for just single numbers or for much larger numbers. So here we have all the way up into the thousands. This one won't have any regrouping. So they would just say the big number and then touch the smaller number. 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then, of course, I teach my students that you always start from the back and count by threes to figure out where your commas go. So they would say 1, 2, 3, comma. Once you get to regrouping, the student needs to regroup the number up here if they get to a number larger than 9. So they could say 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They're going to write the 4 here and carry the 1. If you have a student that's struggling to remember to carry, you can always draw a box up here to prompt them to carry. Then again, because now there are more than 2 numbers, instead of touching the big number and counting the other numbers, I would encourage my students to start from the top and count straight down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know your students best and you know what will work for them, but for a lot of my students that are struggling, teaching them to start from the top and coming straight down is very, very helpful. Of course, this also works with larger numbers as well. So we have 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This time we need to regroup and put the number there. Again, if you have a student that's forgetful, you can always draw a box to remind them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now, if you noticed on this last number, I didn't draw all the touch points. I just touched them with my pencil. As you take down the scaffolding for the student, as they become more adept at doing that, that's what they should be doing with their pencil. That's the goal, for them to be able to touch the numbers on their own and remember where those touch points are without having to draw them first. Then I would tell the student to start at the back and count 3 numbers to put their comma. 1, 2, 3. So that's using touch points for addition. I hope this video was helpful. If it was, please like and subscribe, share it with others, and I'll see you later. Bye!